With everything going on right now surrounding the New Age update coming to Maplestory on November 15th, it's hard not to feel like I discovered Maplestory too late, and that this Soul Erda situation might just be the final nail in the coffin for a lot of Maplestory players. I started playing Maplestory about 2 weeks ago. Not very long ago, I know, however I've been playing pretty consistently every day, and it's safe to say I've really fallen in love with the game. And the unique art style, 2D platforming, combat system, they all feel and look incredible. Watching my characters get stronger as time progresses is also incredibly satisfying. And I've had so much fun experiencing all the unique classes that I've played so far. However, it feels like all this enjoyment that I'm having with the game is just being overshadowed by the looming dread of possibly one of the worst update implementations I've ever seen. I haven't been around Maplestory very long, so my knowledge of the history of the game is pretty limited. But from what I understand, the game has been through a lot of ups and downs over the years, which is obviously to be expected by a live service game that's been running for as long as Maplestory has. But recently, from what I can understand, the game has been on an upwards trend. A trend that you would hope a publishing studio like Nexon would really want to capitalize on with an update as massive as New Age on the horizon. The update that's meant to bring a significant amount of hype and content, and not to mention new players such as myself to the game. To see Nexon completely fumble their opportunity to grow the game and create such a dire situation out of it is incredibly disheartening and frankly embarrassing. I can only imagine the outrage that lifetime Maplestory players feel right now, as their trust of their favorite game has been completely destroyed. The Soul Erda situation is creating an outlook on the game that is frankly incredibly bleak. The idea to lock progression behind daily caps is an incredibly anti-user system in any video game, especially when there's a means to increase or circumvent part of the limit with real-life money. Video games used to be the great equalizer between people, with the philosophy that no matter your economic background, if you managed to put the time in to progress your characters or develop your mechanical skills, you would be rewarded. But nowadays, as I look across the landscape of video game design philosophy, for the most part, that sentiment is long gone, with just a few occasional outliers that are often criticized by more money-grabbing studios as anomalies. But let's get back to Maplestory specifically. Capping Soul Erda gains for players is a way for Nexon to create this feeling of, well, if I don't log in, I won't keep up, or if I don't spend money on the Soul Erda booster, I won't be able to keep up with the players that will. Coupled with the fact that as it stands, there is no catch-up mechanic, meaning that if you fall behind even one day, the power level between your characters and others will just continue to grow in an insurmountable way. This system feels nothing short of an absolute disaster in the modern landscape of gaming, where the average population of MMORPG players is, well, increasing. We're all getting older. And as we get older, players, we get more real-life responsibilities and less time to play video games. No one enjoys the idea of being left behind with no way of ever catching up. And no one enjoys their progression being halted by unfair in-game systems, especially time gates, as there is no way around it but to wait, and the people that got into the race first will always be ahead. This system is also incredibly discouraging for new players for exactly the same reason. If this change goes ahead, I really don't see myself playing Maplestory for much longer. Why waste my time? My characters will be gated from ever catching up, and the gap will be monumental by the time I even reach level 260. No matter how many hours I put in, it could mean me getting permanently excluded from high-level boss parties in the future. You know, well, what's the point? It truly feels like Nexon are really trying to milk players that are too invested to quit for every penny that they have to keep their characters relevant, and punish players that won't. A business model that's so anti-player, it's frankly disgusting. And in times like these, it's hard not to look across to other games like old school RuneScape or Minecraft, where there is a really open line of communication between the player base and the developers, and the players feel heard. Minecraft, with its yearly Minecraft Live event, where players get to have their questions answered and get to have a say in where the studio's focus is for the next update. And RuneScape, with its regular developer Q&A live streams, player polled content, and regular collaboration with content creators. It feels like these games truly value their player bases, and the numbers show. Both games are continuously growing and making sustainable profits. I don't think it's a coincidence. And it feels like it's a massive shame that Nexon doesn't share these same sentiments. But what can Nexon do now? I mean, obviously the most immediate solution to the situation would be to remove the Soul Erda cap and allow players to progress at their own pace, as they do on the Korean Maplestory server. But that also doesn't repair the damage done to the trust between the players and Nexon. I believe for Maplestory to really truly flourish as the unique MMORPG experience it is, Nexon really needs to open up communication to players and make players feel like their voices are heard and their frustrations are valid. It's okay to admit that you were wrong if you actively try to make amends. But anyway, that's all for now. Thank you for listening to my rant and wishing all you Maplers out there the best. I've been Willow Wisp, and thank you for watching.